Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. With increasing precious metal prices, gold and silver scams are on the rise. Let's take a look at 5 types of precious metal scams. Let's explore! That's right, this comes through from legalreader.com, and it gives us an outline of the different types of scams that are out there that we should be wary of with precious metals. Gold does attract buyers from every walk of life and economic status. The concept of owning gold and silver gives a person a sense of security and wealth that can outlive multiple generations. And that really is true. I think that security is something that we enjoy with gold and silver and holding it, because it can't be touched by a manipulation of the markets once it's in your hands. So before we continue, I'd like to encourage you to navigate your way to the thumb up button and to help give the algorithm a little bit of a chance to get this video out there. Certainly appreciate the interaction with the community here. So appreciate that and your thoughts as well, but especially to share this video with others to help in education and with the rising scams that are making their way around different various methods. The recent rhetoric or meteoric rise in gold prices supports the idea that gold is the best way to invest in uncertain times. And of course, they use the word invest. I would caution against that word. Currently, the price of gold is the highest it's been since 2011, when the top price reached $1,900. In fact, I think it was $1,921 if my memory serves. Experts claim the trend will continue into in 2020 and into 2021. In early 2020, Bank of America predicted that gold could rise to $3,000 an ounce by the end of the year, while more conservative estimates predict an increase of 5% over the current market. Silver is also at a high. As of mid-2020, the price of silver reached $24.54 per ounce, which is the highest price since 2013, when it hit a high of $27.27 an ounce. In fact, it very briefly flirted with $30 for momentarily. With the current global pandemic and the economic and political climate it is having, it is no wonder that many people are looking at alternative ways to invest their money. However, with an increase in precious metal prices, there is also an increase in fraud related to precious metals. And we're going to explore the 5 different types of scams related to gold and silver investing. So what exactly is precious metals fraud? Chances are you'll be buying gold from a seller unless you're thinking of going out and finding gold, which could be fun. People in this community have done it. Precious metals fraud involves selling fake gold or silver to unsuspecting targets. The precious metals comes in various forms, including jewelry, gold bars, investments, and futures. Buyers believe the precious metal or promise of monetary gain is real and end up losing money. Like most scams, the chance of recovering lost funds is almost nil. The increase in precious metals fraud directly correlates to precious metals prices. And that makes sense. As the price increases, so does the number of gold-related scams. Scammers use various tactics to dupe buyers and investors, from jewelry fraud to selling investments. Additionally, fraudsters continue to beat their odds by producing high-quality fakes and seemingly reputable businesses. You've heard me report on various precious metal crimes. A lot of that deals with fraud in many cases, and obviously stealing as well. So there are variations. Con artists develop new scams every day with the hope of defrauding unsuspecting victims. Variations on precious metal scams aim to trick otherwise savvy buyers with counterfeit goods and empty promises of wealth and a secure future. With millions of people out of work due to COVID-19 and the economy in a recession, scammers increase their efforts, playing upon the fears of the unknown And isn't that why many of us even buy? In many cases, we operate out of this fear of missing out or fears of the unknown. So the first type is precious metals phone scams. Thieves rely on phone scams more than any other method of contact to reach their victims. And the reason for calling ranges from actual monetary theft to identity theft. Sadly, once someone falls victim to a phone scam, their information is often sold to other scammers, making them bigger targets for other types of fraud. Phone scams top the list for precious metals fraud as fake gold traders call and convince their targets to invest in something stable and guaranteed to increase in value. Gold scams cost consumers millions of dollars each year. Investment fraud is the most popular form of phone scam for precious metals. Buyers don't need to see a product to buy. They only need to hear the recent history of gold prices and be convinced that the caller has access to stocks and other commodities. The scammer may also top off the fraud with more lies, telling the buyer stories about increased gold mining production. The amounts stolen from victims vary widely, depending on the type of phone scam. The Better Business Bureau Scam Tracker reports that in 2020, losses to precious metal phone scams have ranged from $50 to $300,000. And as many scam calls as I get, and you have even heard on this channel, I've never received a precious metals phone scam. Boy, wouldn't it be fun to take one of those calls on a live stream one time. The next type, number 2, is buy now, pay later, or hidden loan agreement scam. This is the buy now, pay later scheme or hidden loan agreement scam nets the most significant profit for scam artists. The promise of receiving a big payout tempts would-be buyers to shell out a portion of an investment to secure gold or to purchase stocks and futures. The buyer eventually learns that the deal is fake and the money spent on the sale is long gone. So here's how the scam works. Caller offers a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to purchase gold, shares in a gold mining operation, stocks or futures for a fraction of what they're worth. The buyer pays a small percentage of the value up front, usually 15 to 25%, with the agreement that you will pay the rest in installments to that company. Additionally, the company will often offer to hold on to the gold for safekeeping for a small fee that will be billed along with the monthly payments. Of course, typically in the hidden loan agreement scam, and the gold mining company doesn't exist at all, and the investor loses his initial investment and any money paid after. There's no way for the investor to cash out, and all money is lost. So here's some warning signs for this hidden loan agreement scam. Receiving an unsolicited phone call regarding low-risk, high-return investments, requests for immediate payment, especially wired cash. The company is vague about associated fees and the name of the bank vendor. The company is overseas, and they state that the precious metal transactions aren't subject to regulations or the Commodities Futures Trading Commission or the National Futures Association. The deal doesn't identify the physical location of the gold. The company claims it will deliver the physical precious metals to an overseas storage facility, and there's difficulty in verifying the company's license and information. There's some red flags there. Now, obviously, this is done over the phone as well, but I think this one stood out as being kind of a separate thing as how this thing can operate. Then we have an empty vault scam. As previously mentioned above, the empty vault scam works exceptionally well when paired with the hidden loan agreement. The precious metal sellers promises to store the customer's gold, jewelry, or coins in a safe storage facility for a fee. Only the storage facility doesn't exist. And I imagine that both these scams, with the buy now, pay later, or hidden loan agreement scam and the empty vault scam can be done via mail as well. But yes, indeed. Then we have the rare coin fraud scam, which could also be done through the mail. Number 4, I guess. Rare coins don't always come from dealers. In times of economic insecurity, coins and jewelry often pop up in online ads and social media. Scammers will also use cold calling to sell rare coins to unsuspecting victims. If you're thinking about investing in gold coins, do your research on the value of the coin you're thinking of buying. Sellers offering coins at a very low market price are almost always scammers. If it's too good to be true, it usually is. And that is the case. Any kind of cold call for anything, in fact, not even related to precious metals, but anything, I would be very wary of, for sure, out there. Finally, we've got fake gold jewelry or gas scam. This fraud is similar to the rare coin scam that fraudsters try to sell fake items at cheap prices. In this case, the scam is a con artist who approaches the potential victim at a gas station or supermarket parking lot, telling a sad story about a desperately needing gas or food. Scammer offers trading a valuable piece of gold jewelry for some cash. The victim sympathizes with the scammer, feels terrible for the unfortunate situation. They agree to the deal. The crux of the fake gold jewelry scams is that the jewelry is worthless. The thief moves on to the next victim. Yes, indeed. It really is something. And they're being more tricky and out there, and that's something we approach you on the street. And so those are the kind of scams to recognize out there. And a lot of them is done either mail or by phone. But as that last one can attest there, it can also occur in person. And so any kind of online or social media advertising for gold and silver, usually Craigslist or other places, always be careful. Thing is to know the market. If it is a social media outlet, if it's a Facebook group or Instagram posting, make sure the person has a reputation. Make sure the community that is doing this and that is a forum is reputable and can vouch for the sellers involved. There's plenty of ways to recognize these things, especially outside. But typically, some of these things they come across as promising something that seems almost too good to be true. So there are the 5 different precious metal scams recognized here in conjunction with what's going on here today and how these are increasing with these prices. Be wary of the fraud. There you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.